You've been lied to about world maps. What if I told you the world map hanging in your classroom, the one in your textbook, the one you'd seen your entire life, is lying to you? Not a small mistake, not a tiny labeling error, but a massive distortion of reality. Countries aren't the size you think they are. Continents aren't shaped the way you imagine. And the most powerful nations, they might look powerful simply because of the way they're drawn. Today, we're exposing the biggest illusion in geography. Chapter 1. The map you trust is broken. Look at a typical world map. You'll probably see something like this. Europe and North America stretched wide. Africa looking smaller than it feels. Greenland appearing almost as big as Africa. But here's the truth. Greenland is not even close to Africa's size. Africa is about 14 times larger than Greenland. Let that sink in. Yet on the most common world map, the Mercator projection, Greenland looks massive, almost equal. So what's going on? Chapter 2. The Mercator illusion. In 1569, a Flemish cartographer named Gerardus Mercator created a map projection. His goal wasn't political. It wasn't about power or propaganda. It was about navigation. The Mercator projection preserves angles. That means sailors could draw straight lines across the map and follow a constant compass bearing. For the 16th century, that was revolutionary. But there was a cost. To flatten a globe onto a rectangle, Mercator had to stretch areas near the poles. The further north or south you go, the more distorted things become. That's why Greenland looks huge, Canada looks enormous, Russia looks unstoppable. Meanwhile, Africa, South America, Southeast Asia look smaller than they truly are. This wasn't designed to deceive you, but over time it shaped how the world sees power. Chapter 3. The Africa Shock. Let's talk about Africa. Africa is gigantic. You can fit the United States, China, India, Japan, and most of Europe inside Africa and still have space left over. But on most maps, it looks like just another continent. Why does this matter? Because visual size affects perception. When Europe looks large and Africa looks smaller, it subtly reinforces historical power dynamics. For centuries, European nations dominated global politics, trade, and colonization, and on the map, they looked big. Was it intentional manipulation? Historians debate that, but the psychological impact is real. We associate size with importance, and maps shape our mental model of the world. Chapter 4. Greenland versus reality. Let's do a comparison. Greenland, about 2.1 million square kilometers. Africa, about 30 million square kilometers. Yet on a Mercator map, they look comparable. This distortion becomes extreme near the poles. Antarctica often appears as a gigantic wall across the bottom of the map, sometimes looking larger than every continent combined. But in reality, it's large, but nowhere near that exaggerated. The closer a landmass is to the equator, the more accurate it appears. That's why countries like Brazil or Congo look relatively normal. But Canada and Russia, they're stretched dramatically. Chapter 5. So why don't we just fix it? If the Mercator projection is so distorted, why are we still using it? Because every map projection has trade-offs. When you flatten a sphere, something must give. You can preserve shape, area, distance, direction, but never all four perfectly at once. If you fix area distortion, you lose shape accuracy. If you preserve shape, you distort size. It's mathematically impossible to flatten a globe without compromise. So cartographers created alternatives. Chapter 6. The Peters projection controversy. In the 1970s, a German historian named Arno Peters popularized a new projection. This map preserved relative area sizes. Africa looked massive, as it truly is. South America expanded. Europe shrank. Supporters praised it for correcting centuries of distortion. Critics argued it badly distorted shapes. On the Peters projection, continents look stretched vertically. Countries look oddly elongated. The world looks unfamiliar. It solved one problem, but created another. And that's the reality of map-making. There is no perfect map, only different compromises. So, no, you weren't exactly lied to. You were shown one version of Earth, one interpretation, one projection among hundreds. And once you realize that, you start questioning everything you thought was fixed, because the world isn't just shaped by mountains and oceans, it's shaped by how we choose to draw it.